Hello and welcome to the upload for Friday, the 18th of September. Today on the show, the Oculus Quest 2 exists, the 3DS doesn't, the PS5 does. There's a lot of news to get through. Let's just do that. Let's kick things off with the existence of an entirely new console, and there's not a P or a 5 in sight. After leaking ever so slightly out of a video on Facebook's Blueprint e-learning platform, the Oculus Quest 2 is officially announced! It lives! Oh, thank goodness I thought twice about buying an Oculus Quest 1. That could have been so awkward. Oh, shit. Starting at a low-end model with 64 gigabytes worth of storage and a crisp price of $299 US, which is $100 less than the original at launch, the new wireless headset will boast 6 gigabytes worth of RAM and an 1832 by 1920 display. Which is apparently not a real ratio for a display. The loss of pixels is actually probably due to their new accessibility setting, which is called, and I need to read it, the interpupillary distance adjustment mechanism, which is basically 3 preset distance settings for the internal screen that should accommodate for most levels of eyesight. There's also a new lighter form factor, it's white, and the fabric head strap of the Oculus Go has been ported over. The new headset will start shipping from October 13th this year. And on the Quest, we just got a new trailer for a new Star Wars VR game from ILM X Labs. Centered around the Disney park, Tales from Galaxy's Edge will take you on a journey through Batuu, alongside 3PO, R2, and many more familiar faces. Yoda. But as new tech arrives, so too must the old tech be shuffled away as Oculus announced the end of the Oculus Rift. The headset that paved the way for consumer VR will soon meet its end, with all sales and manufacturing ceasing sometime in 2021. The company stated in a blog post that they're moving to focus on standalone headsets, as opposed to the plugged-in PC-only hardware. Oculus confirmed that they would be at least supporting the Oculus Rift for the immediate future. But moving on, and it's time for another goodbye, and this one is coming from Nintendo. After almost 10 years on the gaming scene, the Nintendo 3DS will cease production. Fans were aghast when they realized the console was discontinued on the company's Japanese site. Nintendo then removed the landing page for the 3DS consoles, and then they put it back with a disclaimer stating the end of the 3DS family of consoles. Nintendo also issued a statement in regards to its support of the console's online service, stating, "Online play and Nintendo eShop will continue to be available, and it will be possible to access and re-download all previously purchased content in the foreseeable future." And with that, Nintendo becomes a single console company for the first time since 1989, when the Game Boy launched. Time flies when you're killing a bunch of fans' dreams and projects, but moving on now, and Borderlands 3 has something very exciting going on. Which is crazy because the game is usually so quiet and chill. The threequel will of course get a free upgrade for next-gen consoles, but that's not all. During a PAX Online panel, Gearbox announced some snazzy new features. 2 new local co-op modes are added with 4-player split screen and the option to divide the screen horizontally or vertically in 2-player co-op. They also revealed there will be more DLC in the future, plus planned crossplay between consoles and possibly generations in 2021. Next gen is really so close, I can almost feel it. Almost, because one of my most anticipated games from the next gen has gotten a little hip bump. PlayStation and PC exclusive Kenna Bridge of Spirits was originally planned for a holiday 2020 release, but a tweet from the dev team at Ember Lab revealed that the game will now launch in early 2021 due to the unfortunate times of the pandemic. But thankfully there's still plenty to play because yes, this week was PlayStation's big showcase, so I'm going to go through all of that news and then we'll get back to whatever else happened this week. We kicked off with a trailer for a game that pretty much didn't exist until yesterday. Final Fantasy 16 is a-comin'. At some point. They didn't give us a release date, and that's probably for the best so that you don't wait 2 generations worth of consoles for a remake of a game. Never again. Never again. But what console will this be out on, you ask? Good question. Luckily, I've written the answer. Well, the trailer did close with PS5 exclusivity, but also a mention of it coming to PC. But then all of Square Enix's posts featured not a single mention of a PC release. So what's happening here? Well, it's likely a bit of a timed exclusivity for a console, similar to Horizon Zero Dawn, Death Stranding, and even the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which has a timed 1-year exclusivity for the PS4. Final Fantasy XVI is likely to have the same kind of launch window exclusivity, and clearly Square wanted to keep where it would be headed next under wraps. So yes, it'll launch on the PS5, and then maybe the PC. It'll definitely go to the PC. We then dove into a gameplay reveal for Miles Morales' Spider-Man, taking us through the stunning ray-traced streets of New York. We also got a look at the baddie of the expansion, the Tinkerer, and some of Miles' new electrified powers. I am so keen for this, and even more keen for the enhanced version of the original game. Post-show, Insomniac revealed more on the next-gen update to Marvel's Spider-Man, included in the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales. The remaster features 3 new suits, higher fidelity models, denser streets, instant loading, 3D sound, haptic feedback. I am so keen to play both of these games, one again and the other for the first time, but we've had no official confirmation as to whether owners of the original PS4 game will get a free upgrade to this enhanced edition. No news, but if there is, we'll let you know. Another long-rumored game from Warner Bros. Arrived in Hogwarts Legacy. Set in the late 1800s, the game will put you in the shoes of a student of your own creation, taking you through the paces of magical high school. This game must be good, as it's reportedly the reason AT&T decided not to sell their Warner Bros. Gaming division. There is, of course, a bit of bad blood thanks to the abhorrent human being of J.K. Rowling, but Warner Bros. Games have come out and said that there is minimal involvement from her, but she's still gonna get a paycheck, which makes this all a little tricky. Despite being revealed via PlayStation, the game will actually launch on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, as well as PC sometime in 2021. There's a lot of other stuff, so a bit of rapid fire news for you now. We got a look at some of Call of Duty's Cold War campaign, showcasing some truly cinematic action. That was tailed with a reveal that the game will have a PlayStation exclusive beta kicking off on September 18th, a full week before other consoles. We got another look at Resident Evil 8 Village, with Capcom announcing there will be more combat and exploration than survival game this time around. It will drop for next-gen and PC later next year. More Deathloop was shown off with nothing substantial gained other than the fact I just really want to play this game and experience how it functions really soon. I want to play it, just give it in my, I want it! Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is a special edition of a game that is only a year old, but it will be available digitally at launch for the PlayStation 5 and eventually for the Xbox Series X. Even more Oddworld Soulstorm gameplay arrived, showing just how much bigger and deeper the game will go. And Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is a game that people can play on PS4, PS5, and PC sometime this year. And then they hit us with another whammy, Demon's Souls. The remake of the game that started it all is finally in sight. With just a sneaky bit of gameplay revealed, fans were beyond satisfied, except for one thing, that font. But as the game is a launch title for the PS5, it's highly unlikely it'll be changed. Maybe down the track in a patch, but not at launch. There was also another bit of Sony jumping the gun here, with the team following up that the game will actually not be on the PC. But it also probably will. Fortnite also got a trailer for the PS5, which it didn't really need because we knew it was going to be on the PS5 because it's Fortnite, but something that did need a trailer is the thing that I'm about to talk about. The PlayStation Plus collection is the console's answer to the Xbox Game Pass. A suite of 18 classic PS4 titles will be available at launch for PS Plus users at no extra cost. Of course, most of these games any avid gamer probably already owns, but I feel like there's two ways to look at this. One, you might be getting your first ever console, and for technically $12 a month, you will get 18 of the best previous generation games at launch, ready to play. It's awesome. Or if you're getting a digital console and worried about having to keep a lot of your previous games, or even keeping the PS4, 18 of probably your favorite games are just here and ready, and they'll probably add more as time goes on. It's important to note though that this is a PS5 exclusive collection and won't be available on the PS4, but that also means sexy next-gen upgrades for all the greats. And yes, you knew this bit, the PS5 will be available on November 12th in America, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Mexico, and South Korea, and on November 12th, everywhere else. Sorry about everywhere else, which is mostly just Europe. What's up with Europe? What have they done? The war? The disk drive version comes in at $499 US and 750 Australian, whilst the digital edition is $399 US and 599 Australian. This puts the Series X and PlayStation 5 Standard Edition on the same par price-wise, but the Series S comes in at just $100 cheaper than the digital PS5. I've got mine pre-ordered and I'm very, very excited, but if you are just watching this now and you're looking to pre-order, you may not get a PS5 until 2021, as most retailers have sold out of their 2020 stock. But my fingies are both crossed for you. I mean, both, is that technically true? Because there's 4 fingies. Both kind of implies 2. All my fingies are crossed, but then I can't do these ones. And closing it all out, a final sneaky teaser, God of War gets a follow-up. Though it's yet untitled and unclear whether it will be an expansion or sequel, it's very clear that the God of Thunder and the realm of Asgard is on its merry way in 2021. Next year is going to be insane, but November is not, I wouldn't say equally, I wrote equally, it's not equally as insane, but it's pretty insane because we know what titles are going to be available at launch. Revealed post-stream, Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Miles Morales, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure will all be available on launch day. It's not the wildest of launches, but certainly enough to get you going. Astro's Playroom will also just be pre-installed on all consoles for free. Becoming somewhat of a tradition on Thursday, PlayStation announced post-conference that a few PS5 exclusives won't be. Miles Morales Spider-Man, Horizon Forbidden West, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure will be available on both PS5 and PS4 at launch. Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan revealed the news as being a stepping stone for those that aren't quite ready to make the leap to next gen, which is cute, but he's also a liar. Back in May, in an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, Ryan sung a different tune, stating, "We are thinking that it is time to give the PlayStation community something new, something different, that can really only be enjoyed on PS5. I am all for games being accessible to as many people as possible, but on top of being a bit of a backtrack, many have spoken out in fear that it might hamper developers' creativity in embracing the new tech. This is something I can partially agree on, but both Spider-Man and Sackboy kind of feel like late PS4 games, so they won't be affected too much, but Horizon Forbidden West I am a little bit worried about. That thing is huge and really needs to make the most of that SSD. I understand the fears and I am a little bit cautious, but I think this one is a matter of wait and see. But another game I'm just kind of waiting and seeing for is Star Wars Squadrons, and they released a lovely little CGI short film. I say I'm waiting and seeing, I've already bought the damn thing. The CGI short introduces Titan Leader, the head of the game's Imperial Squadron. It's a swoopy, fast and sexy short, but I will say I did it way before they did. That's how it's done! May the 4th this year. Beat that. They can't, because it wasn't on May the 4th. And if you're like our entire Discord and still have Fortnite installed, a leaked, then launched X-Wing glider has popped up on the game store. Available for E-Bucks or free with a purchase of Squadrons on the Epic Store. I spent money on it, and staying with EA, you know Origin, their little launcher that you do your very best to avoid? Well, it's getting a bit of a shakeup. EA have announced that their game launcher, Origin, will be getting a new name, the EA Desktop App. I mean, at least I can search for this one. I can't tell you how many times I forget it's called Origin, and I'm like, EA, Battlefront, help. After switching up their subscription service from Origin Access to EA Play, the company is rebranding, designing, and overhauling their launcher, and will roll out a closed beta registration for the reimagined app soon. Thank actual God. Now, one final bit of news. It doesn't really matter that much, but it's a game that the minute I loaded it up, I needed it in my body. Ghost Runner, the cyberpunkian parkour sim, will arrive October 27th, and that's literally all I need to say. Wishlist, pre-order, do everything you need to do to get this game. I also did a first play of it here on the channel, and it's probably linked somewhere, but Ghost Runner is still a few weeks away, so why don't we check out what's dropping soon. Play. Kicking into hyperdrive, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw finally makes its way onto consoles on September 22nd. The spacey sim has been live on PC since August last year, but after many a setback, will bring its playful mix of dogfights and trade routes onto every console imaginable. Also on the 22nd, one of the nation's greatest achievements, a game with the number 2 in its title. Tennis World Tour 2 drops on all the consoles, and Josh couldn't be more excited.
Please buy my game.
September 23rd brings Unrailed to life, a game which sees you laying tracks across a procedurally generated world. It's multiplayer, and damn, it looks like frantic fun. The 23rd also does the unthinkable. Rocket League becomes free to play. Available on all consoles ever, the cardball soccer game will cost nothing to snap up. You'll not even need a PS Plus nor Switch Online to play with fellow players across the globe. September 24th pulls along a trio of indies with Going Under, a terrifying look at just how terrible an internship can be. Dungreed, a procedural dungeon crawler with no special twist, it just kinda looks pretty fun. And the management thrills of Little Big Workshop make their way to Xbox. Rounding out the week, the 25th gives us Port Royale 4, the 4th Port Royale game. What is it? And finally, the remastered glory of Mafia Definitive Edition arrives, giving us the sought-after remake of the 2002 original that we so desperately never asked for, but are so glad it's here. Remember, you can vote for one of those games to get a look in a first play or a live stream by jumping into the straw poll down below and voting away. But whilst that URL loads up, why don't we check out the upvote? The worst upvote I have ever done, but I'm so goddamn tired. Reddit user The Hypersmash has added some color to the shapes on the PS5 box art, and it's better than the real deal. Yeah, that's all I've got. That's the one exciting thing from the entire week. And that is also all the gaming news from this entire week. If you enjoyed, remember you can hit that like button and subscribe for more stuff. And if you know people that like stuff, why don't you let them know that we're making stuff here? Bring them over. Tell them to subscribe and like. And if you want more us in your face, Josh and I broke down the latest series of The Umbrella Academy in a podcast available both on Spotify and here on YouTube. And I also checked out the Sims 4 Star Wars expansion and made Josh get eerily close to putting a ring on a stormtrooper. Can Josh date a stormtrooper? Guys, we're about to witness a first kiss with a stormtrooper. Links for all that in the description, but until the next video, bye-bye. Oh, can you put the thing? Finish the video.